Hi everyone, welcome to our channel. Douglas Macgregor asserts that the Senate's division regarding subsidies beyond U.S. borders signifies a mere facade. He emphasizes the closeness between his figure of reference, Mayorkas, and Chuck Schumer, indicating little prospect for change. Macgregor points out his Orcas role in maintaining open borders, citing various camps in Panama, accommodating individuals from diverse origins. When buses arrive and transport people, they often head all the way to Mexico's border. The journey is marked by horrific acts against women and children, often unnoticed. Upon arrival, individuals are provided with checks, cell phones, and free tickets to their desired destinations. Airlines are instructed to facilitate their travel, while bus terminals are tasked with their transportation. The underlying idea is to disperse these individuals across the country, potentially altering the political landscape. This transformation suggests a shift from red to blue states, symbolizing a fundamental change in allegiance. The lack of action enables this agenda to progress unchecked. Tucker's actions display courage as he ventures to Russia to interview its leader amid the contentious relations between Washington and Moscow. Despite the absence of a declared war, the situation feels akin to conflict with substantial support provided to Ukraine. Tucker's inquiry challenges the prevailing narrative, seeking truth from a foreign leader. While he finds Putin's remarks mostly credible, there's disappointment regarding certain aspects. The discussion also touches upon Russia's historical challenges, notably its reckoning with the Stalinist era and communism's atrocities, often overshadowed by the focus on Hitler in World War II. The conversation underscores the complex historical context shaping Europe's dynamics and the impact of communism on geopolitical tensions. The concentration camps in Russia were located in harsh weather conditions with extremely low temperatures and appalling treatment of prisoners. Within the initial months, a significant portion of the inmates succumbed to the severe conditions rather than deliberate chemical means. The death toll between 1918 and 1941, potentially surpassed, and casualties in World War II underscores the gravity of the situation. The conversation delves into the Great Patriotic War, revealing that a considerable number of Soviet citizens, including Russians, Ukrainians, and others, volunteered to fight alongside the Germans against communism. This perspective challenges the conventional narrative, emphasizing communism as a primary cause of the conflict while acknowledging Hitler's culpability. The discussion extends to Stalin's strategic blunders and the critical role played by Russia in supplying resources to Germany during the early stages of World War II. The speaker expresses frustration with the lack of openness in Russia, highlighting the closure of NKVD archives and the need to confront the full truth about their history. Despite the disappointment, there's recognition that contemporary Russia differs significantly from its communist past, resembling more of a humane society with a higher standard of living, reminiscent of Tsarist Russia. Keep in mind when discussing the big questions, they vary significantly. If Putin desired, he could have framed history since 1989 differently. It's crucial to recognize that Russia warned against NATO expansion to its borders, yet we proceeded incorporating Poland, Lithuania, Latvia, and Estonia, all with troubled past due to communism. While Putin could have elaborated more on this, he did highlight Ukraine's transformation into a threat against Russia. The essential inquiries shouldn't revolve around Putin's alleged evil or his intentions to attack the West, but rather on understanding geopolitical dynamics and our role in Ukraine. Putin's remarks about America's staggering debt and its interference in others, the heirs resonate. It's time to reflect on America's original vision of being a beacon of prosperity and embracing peaceful means to influence change, as advocated by Washington Hamilton. Contrary to exporting revolution by force, let's showcase the merits of democracy and prosperity, fostering admiration and emulation worldwide. Our current trajectory risks isolation rather than global influence. The question has been raised, and feedback from family members traveling to Europe suggests that despite evident failures, America's reputation remains relatively intact. The perception of America as a symbol of decency and respect endures, possibly because the world wants to believe in its claimed values despite acknowledging its imperfections. Putin's historical perspective serves as a reminder of Russia's endurance through centuries of tumultuous wars, emphasizing its resilience as a nation of 140 million people. He asserts Russia's permanence and rejects the notion of its dissolution or division. This message underscores the importance of national identity, culture, language, and religion in shaping a country's essence, contrasting the erosion of these values in the United States. Putin also emphasizes the shared historical and religious ties between Russians and Ukrainians, refuting the portrayal of Ukrainians as enemies and expressing a desire for reconciliation. Unlike the intense animosity evident in conflicts like Gaza, Moscow seeks an end to the war in Ukraine and foresees a mutual respect and understanding between the two peoples. While efforts are made to prevent this reconciliation, the absence of the extreme hatred witnessed in other conflicts highlights Russia's stance toward Ukraine. Ukraine's situation appears dire, with the government functioning as a facade. The Ukrainian people, having fought courageously, are now depleted of able-bodied men and resorting to calling back overseas Ukrainians for combat despite facing formidable Russian defenses. The speaker suggests that, regardless of who assumes leadership in Ukraine, its fate seems sealed. Certain figures within the current regime are seen as pawns for Western intelligence agencies, tasked with carrying out actions detrimental to Russia. This retaliatory mindset, akin to Hitler's order to burn Paris, only exacerbates tensions and worsens the situation. As Russian forces advance westward, the possibility of reaching the Polish border looms, though this isn't a preferred outcome. The speaker ponders the future, particularly with regard to potential changes in European governments, notably in Germany and Poland. Their skepticism about the sustainability of current leadership and a call for better relations with Russia, emphasizing the long-standing symbiotic relationship between Germany and Russia. The speaker questions when change will occur, noting Russian suspicions regarding Western influence. Despite past interactions with various U.S. presidents, Putin remains skeptical about the prospects for meaningful change in relations.